Hey, it's Baz, filmmaker, dad, and the guy behind 20 Minute Gamer. Today I'm playing Black on the PS2, a game I remember as one of the last I played before jumping to the Xbox 360 back in the day. At the time, it felt like a glimpse into the future. It was visually stunning, thunderously loud, and so cinematic it made everything else on the shelf look like stickmen with Nerf guns. But does it still hold up nearly 20 years later? Let's find out. Black was developed by Criterion Games. Yep, the same guys behind Burnout. Released in 2006, it was published by EA and positioned as a no-nonsense, guns-blazing Hollywood-style shooter. Criterion set out to make the most intense, explosive first-person shooter possible for the PS2, and it totally shows. This was all about the bullets, the explosions, and the style. And crucially, it came at the tail end of the PS2's life cycle, so it really squeezed every last drop of performance out of the hardware. Story. If you know this channel, you know I usually skip cutscenes to get as much gameplay in as possible, but Black has other ideas. The game is front-loaded with unskippable cutscenes, starting with a 2-minute slow burn credit crawl on a literal black screen. I timed it. It's around a third of your first 20 minutes gone before you even pick up a gun. That said, the story's not too bad. You play as a Secret Service type guy being interrogated after a mission has gone sideways. The levels unfold as flashbacks during your interrogation, and they're told through slick live action sequences. It's a strong concept and decently executed, but once you're in a mission, the story more or less disappears. There's no in-level progression or character development, just lots of action. Still, it's a great framing device, and that cinematic sheen does draw you in.
Everything you did will be declassified. You will be convicted. You will be discharged. You will spend the rest of your life in prison.
Score, 7 out of 10. Controls. Surprisingly modern for its time, twin-stick aiming on a console in 2006 was still bedding in, but Black nails it. You've got reload on X, crouch on L2, aim down the sights on L1, and fire with R1. It's not exactly muscle memory for today's shooters, but it is close enough. Weapon switching and health packs are mapped to the D-pad, and once you get into the rhythm, it all just clicks. Pun intended. It's arcadey in its feel, with no inventory faff or fancy mechanics, just you, a pile of guns, and a license to make a hell of a mess. There's no complaints here. Score, 7 out of 10. Atmosphere. The atmosphere is where Black absolutely shines. From the moment you boot it up, it screams serious action movie. The menus have bullet kistons flying around on screen. Cutscenes are stylized and confident. Everything is presented with the kind of polish you rarely saw on the PS2. In-game, the levels drip with tension. You feel like a weaponized shadow slipping through war zones. There's smoke, debris, sparks, and glass everywhere. It's immersive, it's very loud, and it wants to make you feel like you're in the middle of a Michael Bay film. Mission accomplished. Score, 8 out of 10. Music and sound. Let's break it down into 3 parts: voice, music, and sound design. So the voice acting's surprisingly solid. Live action cutscenes help the delivery land better than expected, and there's a cool moment in the second mission where your character's voice is echoing weirdly throughout the level. It's like someone's eavesdropping on your comms. Intentional, creepy, I don't know, but it did stick with me. Solid performance overall.
2-1, 2-1, do you copy, over? 2-1, do you read me, over? If you copy, I am proceeding to RV, out.
Music. From the get-go, it's clear that the devs were proud of their score. We get full music credits during that unskippable open and crawl. And fair play, the orchestral soundtrack is lush and cinematic, with big, sweeping action movie vibes. But it's barely used during the actual levels. You mostly get silence, punctuated by the odd sting or dramatic flourish when you finish a mission. I assume they're saving it for later levels, which is a smart move, but you can't help wishing for just a little bit more in that opening 20. Sound design is absolutely top tier. The gunfire is heavy, beefy, and echoing. Bullets ricochet off metal, windows shatter, debris flying around, and the wind howls through the trees. You hear enemies before you see them, and the directional audio genuinely helps you play a lot better. Everything sounds big and brutal and very tactile. Honestly, even modern shooters could take some notes from this. Score, 9 out of 10. Graphics and style. This game is absurdly good looking for a PS2 title. The detail on weapons, the enemy models, the environments, it's all next level. I'm playing this on an emulator now, sure, but even back on the original hardware, it did feel like a generational leap. I remember thinking that when I first played it. The game uses depth of field effects when you reload, it adds in destructible environments, there's blind and muzzle flashes and chaotic particle effects. There's dust, smoke, debris, it just never lets up. It honestly holds its own against early Xbox 360 titles.
They're coming in through the wall!
If Metal Gear Solid 3 is peak PS2 stealth beauty, then Black is its louder, explosion-happy cousin. It's a real showcase for the console, and it still holds up today. Score, 9 out of 10. Gameplay. Right, let's be honest. Out of your first 20 minutes, a good 7 or 8 of those are spent watching cutscenes or just waiting for things to load. That's a bit of a buzzkill, I know, but once you're in, Black absolutely delivers. The gunplay is frantic and satisfying. You're mowing down enemies, launching RPGs into buildings.
Cover that fucking window!
Taking cover, flanking, and doing it all in gloriously destructive fashion. There's no tactical layer or anything like that. It's not about planning or stealth, but it's just plain fun. You won't unlock anything new in your first 20 minutes, but you'll have experienced a full-on action movie shootout, and that's kind of the whole point. It's short, it's sweet, and it'll definitely leave you wanting more. Score, 8 out of 10. Final verdict, is this worth 20 minutes of your time?
Negative, hold your position, Bravo.
Absolutely. This is what 20-Minute Gamer is all about, seeing if a game can wow you before the kettle's even boiled. And Black does. Mostly. Sure, you'll be forced to watch a few lengthy cutscenes, and some of them more like power naps, but once the bullets start flying, you'll forget about all of that. It's explosive, cinematic, and it feels way more modern than it has any right to. Whether you've played it before or you just want to see what the fuss was all about, Black is 100% worth revisiting. Final score, 8 out of 10. Did you play Black back in the day? Do you still think it holds up, or has nostalgia been doing all the heavy lifting? Let me know in the comments, and if there's another underrated shooter you think I should try, I'm all ears. If you enjoyed this review, give it a like and drop a comment. I'm always up for chatting retro shooters and Secret Agent Chaos. If you're anything like me, you don't have hours to sink into every game, and that's why on 20-Minute Gamer I test whether a game can hook you in just those first 20 minutes. And I'll see you on the next one.